Welcome back to Our Lives, Beginnings, and Always. Eventually the mall was explored in full with every shop of note being checked over. Rather than going home, you decided to walk over some smaller stores nearby. So we're in the Step 3 prologue. We're beginning our journey into adulthood at post-graduation. We're out with our sister Liz on an exciting adventure here to the big city of K in San Diego, I believe. Is that Kasane Tato? Did I comment on that before? Is that Kasane Tato on the sign over there, or is it just generic anime girl? It looks like it could be Kasane Tato. Maybe I'm just too into Vocaloids. Anyway, yeah, I was gonna say more about that, but welcome back. Hope you're all having a good day and stuff. Liz had many thoughts on that topic.
So?
Honestly, malls are not a bastion of society. Even if smaller stores require extra distance, the brands are so much more. So, I love malls, Liz. I'm not talking about Marina, I'm talking about me. I love malls. You'll never convince me otherwise. I don't like small... I like mom and pop stores too, but... And your sister abruptly stopped speaking and walked right in the middle of the path. It was a good thing no one was behind her. She seemed entirely shut off for a moment. I hate what happens next. This is bad. Ugh. This is the thing I don't like about Step 3. This is my, problem, is that GB Patch apparently really likes XOXO Droplets, their previous game, and they just want to remind you how much they love it, no matter how much it interrupts and feels out of place with this game. But here we go! Liz? The attempt to catch her attention was unsuccessful. Something else had all her focus. Before you could puzzle out what might be happening, she began to mumble out of the corner of her mouth. Marina, don't draw attention, but look. What? With a harsh whisper and a subtle jerk of her head, she urged you once more.
Hey!
Look! Bold! You followed her gaze as best you could to a large bunch of colorful teens strolling down the same path. Okay. You faced back over your sister with a confused expression and an unspoken question. What were you supposed to be seeing there? Marina, doesn't one of them seem familiar? She was again practically bouncing at this point, so you looked at the group over again. This time you saw what she was seeing. This is weird. The weird, blurry Lycian. Da-da-da-da-da! Amongst the collection of strangers was brown hair, gray eyes, and lots of freckles. And of course... So, I have a ranking for people I don't like in this game. I've gone on a rant a little bit about Baxter. We're going to meet Baxter in this too, but... This man's is the #1 person I dislike. Oh, but he's a character in XOXO Droplets and we love him so much we gotta shove him down your throat that he exists. F Shiloh forever, man. F Shiloh forever. I'm gonna actually use this because it might be what we use for the background if nothing exciting happens. That's Shiloh. Our Shiloh from when we were kids. Yep, that was definitely him. Marina liked Shiloh as a kid, don't get me wrong. She was friends with him. They were friends with Shiloh. Yes, indeed. But Marina liked everybody as a kid. I don't think she knew people, and I don't think she would have, remember or care about Shiloh this many years later. Because she's changed a lot they've changed a lot as a person. I can't believe it. He's honestly just there. That's hilarious. That's incredible. Also, I'm really sorry that all my lady voices are generic because I can't do a proper one. Because vocal cords suck. I'm sorry. Oh, but how do we talk to him? We'd have to pull him away from all those other people and what if I'm wrong? Your mouth opened to reply, but she cut it off with her own answer to the question. I've got it. I'll shout the name Shiloh, and then we can act like it wasn't us. If he responds to that, we'll know without a doubt it's him. Marina, keep an eye out to see if he looks. Liz, can't you just try talking to him normally? We're not doing that. It's a terrible plan. Why do I have to be the one who watches? Let's try it. Fine. You didn't even know how to react. Liz, can't you just try talking to him normally? Likely without even hearing what you had to say, Liz put her plan into action. Really? She just ignores you? Shiloh! She loudly projected the word across the way and then put on an act of casualness, turning her head away from the scene while brushing at the skirt of her dress. In a supremely awkward moment, you could only stand there as attention in the area shifted to the two of you thanks to your sister's shout. As the attention in the area shifted to the two of you thanks to your sister's shout. But of the many startled bystanders who became alerted to your presence, one of them was the boy. From a distance, his large eyes met yours. He looked. A wide grin took over Liz's face. She pushed the rim of her sun hat up, away from her face, while swishing back around to greet her old friend directly. A lot of people looked, Liz. A lot of people looked. I mean, yes, it is him, but it's so stupid and cringe. Like, Shiloh! Waving, she stepped a bit closer to express her intention to meet. Without really closing the gap, she wanted him to come to her. Who you had presumed to be Shiloh looked surprised at the call-out. He stole a quick glance at the crowd he was with and hesitantly glanced back at your way. He was trying to double-check something. Liz remained steadfast with her gaze trained on him, and ultimately he broke away from the rest of them. After a light-footed jog across the brick path, the young man pleasantly presented himself in front of you, Liz and you.
Hi.
I like your hat. Just that simple greeting had Liz giggling. I do like Shiloh's hat. I do like his hat. I like the way Shiloh dresses. It's very colorful and interesting. I like the look of adult or a teenage Shiloh more than I like the look of kid Shiloh. Always with the hats.
Hey.
Hello, I'm not sure if you remember this, but I'm Lizzie and that's Marina. We were all friends when we were little kids. His already wide eyes grew even larger, the gaze darting between you and Liz. He previously chipper demeanor had fitted into something delicate. I'm really sorry, but I think you have the wrong person. You could tell not being instantly recognized was going to make this exchange more of a challenge. Still, Liz was undeterred. It was a long time ago. You were really young. I get why you feel like that. However, I'm positive I'm right. You're the exact same. That face, the freckles, how genially you try to phrase things. You're even still wearing a hat. Instinctively, he looked up at his headwear with his creased brows, not making the connection as to why the hat meant something to her. To be fair, she was really attached to Shiloh as like her little brother, hanger-on kind of person. I get it. She probably thought more fondly of him and than she did of us, and that's what's sad.
Okay.
We knew each other, okay? Wait, did I read that? Yeah, I did.
Okay.
An uneasy smile settled on him. A silence followed Liz's speech. He was picking his next words carefully. And then the quiet was obliterated by a new voice bursting into the conversation. Shiloh, what are you doing? The rest of the group already left. A field trip is not a vacation. We are on a schedule! Startled, your head snapped towards the path. A distinctly unhappy individual with piercing magenta eyes, dark brown skin, and a sharp jaw stormed your way. Yeah, GB Patch loves XOXO droplets. He carried a clout of authority with him, despite looking like he wasn't even 18 yet.
Sorry.
I didn't mean to ditch. Oh, man. Oh, jeez. Oh, I sound like Morty. Shiloh, whose name was now officially confirmed, gestured with a hand to add to the explanation of his absence as the stranger watched impatiently. Yeah. How many Shiloh fields are there in the world, buddy? They thought they recognized me as someone they knew, but it was a tiny misunderstanding. Liz theoretically as well as literally put her foot down at that, stomping in frustration and getting more childish the longer she was around her childhood companion.
Come on.
We do know you! Shiloh merely shrunk in on himself. The tone he spoke with was pained. Sorry. You honestly couldn't tell if he was apologizing for upset feelings of your sister or the palpable dissatisfaction of his new acquaintance. That in itself was very Shiloh-like. Oh, you know him! Is that it? The stranger spoke in dismissively scoffing tone, as if the words sounded so absurd to him it was almost amusing. Almost, but the sternness of the demeanor quickly reinstated itself. Well, do you know me? I'll tell you. I'm someone who has been forced against his will to be aware of what's going on in Shiloh's ridiculous personal life. For a year! If the two of you had any importance in his general day-to-day existence, it would have come up by now. Don't bother trying to exaggerate any trivial connection you might have. It's not good enough. He's with us, and you'll survive without him. Now stop loitering on the road. It's rude.
Excuse me?
We're the rude ones? The high-strung ranting got an audible gasp from Shiloh, who finally started to speak up again in defense. Nate, that's really mean. It's also true. We're leaving! With that declaration, the unofficially introduced Nate indignantly spun on his heels and walked speedily towards where the group went, completely confident that Shiloh would follow behind. Yeah, unpleasant people. Imagine that. Wow. I still think this is Kasane Teto over here. They slipped her in because they must like her or something. Huh? Oh, people sure can have bad attitudes, huh? Oh, why can't they just try to get along? It's not hard. Don't worry, though. I bet you won't have to deal with him again. Yeah, And I'm sorry I can't stay to talk to you, but I hope you have a really nice life.
Bye.
And that was it. His final words given. Shiloh left the two of you behind to catch up with his own life that he had to go live. Liz watched his exit stunned, only to frown when it hit her that he was really gone as quickly as he appeared. It happened so fast you hadn't even been able to get a word in. She sighed, all the energy she built up releasing with the breath. I could have told him his last name was Fields. His birthday was October 30th. That would have proved it, but no. There's only a few Shilohs. Shiloh's not a common name, Liz. That was your Shiloh. I love her hat, by the way. I adore this pattern. Oh my god. I'm sorry, Liz. Wow, Shiloh grew up to be dumb. You were left feeling equally deflated. Whoever Nate is, he sucks. Well, damn. No. She would be her sister. You felt so bad for your big sister. He'd been such a close friend to her in early years, and the reunion was completely ruined. Like, she would be there for Liz. This is, she's not screwing up this relationship, man. Why aren't you running after him? Liz merely shook her head, pushing off childish thoughts. I think we can leave it there, thanks. He's in the middle of a high school field trip, and it was already enough being able to see him. She looked like the cat that ate the cream right there. Oh my god! There's something reassuring about witnessing firsthand that he's still out there, enjoying his own part of the world. Though, if given the chance, I could definitely have a few words with him about the company he's got. She laughed, but you could tell there wasn't much humor in it. She was mad at the guy, even if she was happy to let Shiloh go. Maybe they're only with each other because of the trip, but it's not usually how things are.
Right?
We can only hope the same for him as he did for us. Have a nice life, Shiloh. Yeah, if only that was where we left it off at. Oh, God, you... Good luck out there, you'll need it. Liz smiled at you. It had the self-confidence you knew so well from her. Come on, kid, let's finish our own trip. Yeah. No matter how either of you really felt about the occurrence, it was something that you simply had to accept. People you knew just disappear and reappear in the most unexpected ways. It's true. I've had weird experiences going back home for like a class reunion, but even outside of that, anytime I visit my hometown, I run into people that I knew like when I was a kid that I wasn't even very close with, and they're like, "Oh, hey, I remember you, such and such thing," and I was like, "Yeah, you sure are. We're a person." I haven't really run into like any of my old friends much because my old friends are in like weird places around the country and stuff. It would be weird and awkward to meet somebody I hung out. There's one kid in particular I can think of, a couple kids in particular I can think of that I knew when I was like a little kid. That would be really weird to run into now and to see what they're up to because I have no clue where they've gotten off to or what they've done with their lives since. It'd be really weird just to run into them one day like this. That would be really weird. I can see how this would be strange. For Marina, though, Shiloh was not someone that she really had that much of an impact on. Like, she wanted it when she was 8, she wanted everyone to be her friend, and she was excited to have friends and to be happy and nice. And as she's gotten older, Marina has changed as a person, and that's how they are now. The two of you enjoyed what remained of your outing until it was time to return home. By the time you arrived back, the sun was already beginning to set, and there was a transition scene. You arched your back as you stretched your arms towards the ceiling. While it had been a good day, it had enough activity to cover an entire week. Yeah, you're not kidding. This is gonna have this series of videos is gonna have enough activity to cover an entire week. Liz tried to hide a yawn behind her hands. You weren't the only one feeling worn out. I'll be heading up to your room. I mean, the guest room, since mine stopped being available as soon as I was out the door. Her tone was light. She'd had quite a lot to say on the subject, but when you'd first taken over her bigger room after she left for college. But there had been many trips back home for her. There have been many trips back home for her since then. There had been many trips, maybe? That's weird usage there. The room hasn't been hers for years. It was more of a running joke now. She continued to bring the topic up to this day. They keep changing the tone. The room hasn't been hers? Yes, that's present. And then this is past tense. Why do you keep changing the tense sentence to sentence? Please don't do that. I don't know if it's correct to do it. I might just not know. But I don't like it. Let it go, Liz. I don't see your name on it. Thank you, Liz. It really is a nice room. Thanks for being so gracious about giving it up. Just wanted to follow in my big sister's shoes. I'm sorry. I just wanted to follow in my big sister's shoes. Flattery as a compliment can only go so far, Marina. A small laugh was shared between you and your older sister. You better believe you'll be back in the guest room when you've got your own place and we're both in town for a visit. Joke's on you, I'll just stay at a hotel. Or camp somewhere. We can take turns. You'll have Thanksgiving, I'll get Christmas. Sure. Don't kinda. That's alright with me, I don't need it. We take turns. You have Thanksgiving, I'll get Christmas. With a reasonable and mature suggestion, I'll think about accepting it. So they're like, I make that joke, but my parents have always kept, I guess it's technically a guest room, but it still feels like my room. It's the same room I had when I was a kid. I guess it's technically a guest room, but they barely changed the decor in it. Like a little bit. It was weird going back the first time after being gone. But it still feels like going back to my old bedroom I had when I was a kid. Pretty much the same bed is there. It's weird. Like, I don't know. So I don't really have that issue. My brother, however, doesn't have a bedroom anymore. His bedroom was turned into the family computer room. So it must be weirder for him when he visits. I don't know if he stays in that bed if I'm not there, or if he just always sleeps in the basement on the pull-out. But that's where he usually sleeps when I'm there. I don't know. Anyway, she flashed her familiar grin and you couldn't help but feel she was glad she was back around, even if it was temporary. With that, she plodded off to the spare room. You're ready to do the same. Moving into a new space was your first opportunity to decorate from scratch. And here we go! Design your room! We get to have a room. This was formerly Lizzie's room. Look at this. Man. Oh, jeez. This is gonna take, like, the rest of the video. For, like, one stage. The layout. Let's look at the common layouts. Blue. Green. I'm familiar with this one. So this is interesting. This bed is huge. It makes the room look very small. But when you do the green, like I'm familiar with because it's somebody's something that we're used to. Also, I love that tower PC. This bed's a lot smaller. It looks like bigger. What does the purple look like? There's a lot of makeup and stuff. I like the yellow. I think I'm gonna go with this one. They don't make you do super everything, but I like this one. This is very much similar as the extra storage space. The blue doesn't, no, the other ones they don't utilize the under the shelf storage space. You have cabinets here, you have a thing. No, you don't have a wardrobe. The blue is very generic. This looks like a guest room. This looks like the room of somebody who barely spends any time, like doesn't care about their bedroom. I'm sorry, this is... I don't like this. It's just like very generic. Why did they make one of these this generic? The one thing I do like is this kind of looks like ship, like things you'd see on a dock with the ropes tied around the things. It's kind of a little nautical. This one's probably the prettiest, but it's the one that my friend used. And Marina wouldn't be a green person, but I think she would be into yellow enough. Also, the style of this bed and this is very Marina to me. Although I do miss, but we get to add stuff, so we'll get to add stuff to it. I do miss when you were a kid, you had all the stuff and the walls, but let's see what extras we've got. Ooh, I like the trophies. I don't know. I will think about that. Window left with the books or the shell? No, the books are cool. Oh, wait. Oh, there's multiple. Ugh, that looks wrong. Not because they're weird, they just don't look like they fit. Let's click on left then. Oh, we can be Basil from Amori. I like the books. That's cool. Well, does the extras have extras? No, there's just that. To the window, to the wall. Left, back. Oh my goodness. Oh, there's multiple lefts. Yeah. Look at this. Definitely these paintings, those pictures, though. Oh, wow. Floor. I wonder if this is based on your interests? But that, yeah. The volleyball, right? I wonder if you can only have certain things if you're a certain interest group. I'm tempted to play with the other layouts just to see, but we'd have to scrap this entire thing. Well, we kind of know what we want. Let's just... I really want to see what you can do with the blue. You can add a closed... You can add some... You can add the same... Okay, you get the same window stuff regardless. Oh, there's a shark. That's cool. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, you can't have the same. Stars. You can have the lights. Okay, this is clearly a guitar, not a ukulele. Interesting. Because in here you have... Is it window? No, it's not window. It must be walls, right? No, it's not walls. It must be floor. Let me... Yeah, okay, you get the volleyball. But that is not a ukulele. That is a guitar. It's the same instrument. That is clearly a guitar. I've been around people who play the ukulele. It has the little pins up here and everything. Like, that you can use to tune it. Ukulele, this is not a ukulele. What? Anyway, so it's not that different based on your layout. Let's look at the purple just real quick to see if there's different stuff. Okay, so it's not, it's just there's a lot of generics based on what you are. Yeah. No, definitely the yellow layout. We're doing, it's just the stuff based on where the furniture is positioned. Oh, so I go back to this and I get my all the stuff I picked out already. Okay, so we're done. This is Marina's room that we're gonna get to see. I do miss having the surfboard and all the diving stuff, because she would still have her surfboard. I feel like she would maybe put the surfboard. Well, I don't know. Maybe actually where would you put the surfboard in here? Maybe that's why it's not in here. She would still have it, though. You're really satisfied with this feel of your tiny part of the world. No, not really. As your thoughts drifted, you tried to bite down another yawn. It was no good. Your bed was now lodged in your mind, and all you could think about was collapsing onto it. You trudged up the stairs to your room. Yeah, and then they make you... Okay, and then you get to see the actual, like, lighting on it all. Stepping inside, you closed the door behind you, blocking the rest of the house. When you turned back around, you realized you were not alone there. Yeah. It's all, like... So it's not based on your interests. It's just... You get to put stuff on there. Comfortably perched on the windowsill was someone very familiar to you. Holy Cove! Was not expecting this. Like, I am used to how he looked in Sorrow's game. We got a very different Cove here. Holy Cove. Whew. I'm not gay, but... Or bi. But... Wow. That's not bad, Cove. I like that. Cove Holden. Cove Holden, ladies and gentlemen. The shock knocked all the words, "What the hell?" Surprise. Okay, no, never mind. The shit-eating grin. Holy Cove. His tone was easy and relaxed. It certainly was a surprise you hadn't expected him to be within the state. Never mind your own house. But he hadn't answered as to how he suddenly disappeared back on Sunset Bird. Though to be fair, you had been so astounded that there hadn't much of an opportunity for him to chat with you. Thankfully, Cove was only good for a moment to start. Was only waiting for a good moment to start and began to explain.
So...
I got in about 15 minutes ago, no one was home, so I figured I'd come in the usual way. The window. A small smile had formed in his face. You were still staring at him, unable to blink in case he disappeared. You could still barely believe that he was really there, mere feet away from you. This is not what I expect Cove to look like. I'm so used to, like, studious, like, well-kept Cove. This is, like, frickin'... He looks like... I mean, he looks like the kind of person that would be friends with Marina Foster. Let's just put it that way. I left my bags in your backyard. I hope that's alright. That was when you truly understood. Cove had come straight to you upon getting back to town. You were his first port of call, taking precedence above all else. Even though you hadn't been in while he called, Cove had ensured that he'd see you at the earliest opportunity rather than allowing his plans to change. You laughed. The realization made you bashful. You shook your head at his antics. You stayed frozen in shock yet to melt away. You walked over to join him. You ran to Cove. You walked over to join him. He was here, and it was exactly where he wanted to be. There was no need to hesitate in enjoying his presence. As you approached, Cove quickly hopped from the windowsill to meet you. You're too crazy. I'm so glad you're here. I missed you. Trouble's back in town. Can't believe my eyes. The most amazing man in the world. You didn't need to say anything. We still get things like this even though we're not crushing. Trouble's back in town. You ruffled his hair, you gently punched his arm, you wrapped him in a gentle embrace, you crushed him in a bone crushing how you jumped into his arms. You jovially punched him on the arm. Your fist made light contact with his upper arm. Cove playfully nudged your shoulder in return. Okay. He looks different here than he did there, but oh my god, this is still Cove Holden. Look at the freaking cargo shorts. I'm assuming those are shorts. And the bracelets. This is not what I expected Cove to grow up into. As Sarah would say, my flabber gasted. But this looks like the kind of person that Marina would be friends with also. I missed you. Even if he hadn't said it outright, you would have gotten the message from his body language. Cove was grinning wildly, his raised cheeks bearing his eyes, which gleamed like hidden gems. So, like, the idea of Cove... The idea of, like... I don't know, man. This still comes across a little, like, romantic-y here. But he looked at you as if you were the most exciting treasure of all. Yeah, this is, like, feels very much like Love Story Cove, and I don't like that. Obviously. Was the trip any good? Yeah, I had a great time. Cove told you about how his trip had gone. Trip back has gone. His mom was doing really well. She had a project in the works that she was thrilled about. As a result, Cove was going to be sticking around Sunset Bird for the time being. Things were settled as much as they ever could be. With Cove back once more, you felt at ease. Cove stretched his arms out over his head, his eyes on the window and the world beyond, the sunset we had been busy reuniting. Whoa. From this side, we see skyscrapers in the distance. What? Why are there skyscrapers in Sunset Bird? What? We could see, like, the sprawling hills with all the city, with all the things before, like the houses and stuff, but no real big buildings. So Sunset Bird is a city, or on the outskirts of a city. They always talk like it's this really remote beach town, but if it's got buildings like that in it, what? That seems really odd to me. That's a choice.
Well...
I should probably get my stuff and see Dad. He glanced over to you with a familiar, expectant look. Want to come with me? So we can see Cliff in step 3? You know I do.
Cool.
Cove began to head to your bedroom door. You followed after him. You insisted on a piggyback ride. You followed after him. Marina doesn't need that, and she's tall enough herself. See, and then out the other side of the house we have this. I don't understand this town. The two of you casually went down to the ground floor of your house. In the excitement of Cove's return, you hadn't even remembered the gift he prepared for when he got back. It'd be best to give it to him now before he left your house. So, I guess the idea too, maybe that those are like tall apartment buildings and stuff. Maybe Sunset Bird has grown up a lot in the last 10 years. I don't know. Can you wait here for a little while? I got something for you. Why not get that while you were in the room? I guess that's typical Marina behavior too, right? Cove tilted his head, intrigued.
Really?
He nodded with some eagerness, trying to imagine how he'd react when he actually saw it. You brought Cove something special. The gift you'd chosen had been something... Oh, wow. I think she's the kind of that just buy something, though. It was... a dolphin-shaped balloon, a fruit bouquet, a new fish for his aquarium, bracelet for him to wear, a box of strawberry squirrel ice cream cups. Oh, man. Did I tell the general public about that? I think I did. I think I did a whole thing about this. I got to eat these over the summer. I went to a little local town grocery store and they had them, and I was so excited. But anyway, she would have gotten him a fish. You headed back up to your room, grateful that Cove hadn't spotted your present before now. The little container that was temporary home for the new fish was waiting there for you, just as you'd left it. Very carefully, you cradled it in your arms and make the journey downstairs. You slowly descended the stairs, adjusting your grasp when you reached the ground floor so you could hold it before you for Cove to admire. Cove gasped, placing a hand over his mouth and bent down to watch the fish more closely. You could see his expression through the clear container, his eyes wide and adoring. She would love frickin' having the fish. She would love the fact that he has an aquarium, and she'd probably be over there all the damn time to see the fish, because, like, she doesn't get to have one herself. You let Cove take his time admiring the fish in silence. A few moments later, after he'd taken his fill, he looked up at you with a joyful grin.
Wow.
She'll fit in perfectly with my tank. She looks great. He took the container from you, securing the base first and cautiously lifting it from your hands before resting it beside him on the counter. He brushed his fingers lightly against the top of the container, the closest he could get from petting his new companion. Then he turned back to you. Cove turned to look at the fish. You thought he was just admiring her again, but the moment stretched out and you wondered if it was something more. An interesting thing about this too is that, are you tearing up over this fish, Cove? This man loves his fish. You gotta say that for him. Though his face was angled away from you, you cut his eyelashes fluttering as if batting away tears. His throat bobbed and he swallowed his bubbling emotions. You knew that Cove could be sentimental. The gift and all the memories and feelings tied up in it seemed to have taken a toll on him. When he began to sniffle, you felt the need to reach out. Cove? I can't... You just... Marina, I don't know what to do. He forcefully scrubbed at his eyes like he was trying to push his tears that threatened to spill back in. Oh, Cove, it's okay. Do you need to cry? No. Nevertheless, the tears began to spill down his cheeks. Even as he wiped them away, more took their place. He's just crying because we gave him a fish. I love this man. He's so cute.
Bye.
His voice quavered as he spoke. Cove scooped you into a hug, pressing you so tightly against his chest that your breath escaped in a short squeak. I hope you set the fish down before you did that. He burrowed his face against your neck. He shed tears damp on your skin. You hugged him back. You're welcome. Don't worry about it. You're such a crybaby. You didn't need words as you quietly accepted his appreciation. Don't worry about it. Cove let out a steady breath. It was far removed from the shaky gasp that he accompanied his sniffles. The tears had dried. His eyes were a little red, but open and at peace once again. He smiled, fully recovered from that emotion that had overcome him. You're really seriously too nice to me. He smiled back. You have no right to call anyone else too nice. Cove brushed his hand against the pale ghost of a star in his arm. He was at a loss for what to do now. The clock ticked away, counting the seconds of silence. Once you had a chance to settle your thoughts, you figured you'd tell him Cove the intriguing news. I have to tell you, you're never going to guess who I saw today. He didn't give Cove a chance to reply. There was seriously no way that he'd figure it out. Shiloh.
Huh?
Shiloh. Cove repeated the name, his expression blank. From when we were kids? Cove pondered a moment, then snapped his fingers. I mean, Marina wouldn't have cared about this. This is out of character. She would be like, oh yeah, that happened. Lizzie got really excited when she saw Shiloh. Remember that weird kid with the freckles and the hat? Yeah. Oh, he was the freckly boy from that first summer, right? The one who moved? Yeah, this is how she would feel. The guy was named Shiloh, and he looked just like Shiloh from back then. Even wearing a hat still. But he had no idea who I was and ran off somewhere. Cove frowned. That's, I don't know. Too bad I missed it. Though you knew him better than I did. That was definitely true. Not only had Cove known Shiloh for a short period of time, but he and Shiloh had never quite gotten along. Not that they were enemies, either. Just kids who were only ever together because of the people they both knew. Yeah, that's kind of how Marina was, though, too. I wonder what Shiloh's up to these days. I don't have any idea. He didn't say much. It's almost like we love XOXO droplets to death.
Oh.
That was quite everything. That was everything you had on that news item, so you moved on to the next big update. I'll see, the mean old neighbors, the ones who would always yell at us. He cringed, recalling those particular memories of back in the day that was not pleasant even for someone as nostalgic as him. Yeah? They're not coming. They didn't rent the condo this summer. Cove's jaw dropped. You don't blame him. The elderly couple had been in an institution as far back as you could remember, long predating Cove's arrival. Even now as a teenager, you found your neck pricking as you walked by the condo, half expecting a scolding for breathing the wrong way in the vicinity of their vacation home. Like grumpy Michael Rosen is your neighbor, right? Where's my plums? It was strange to think of that coming to an end. Wow. Cove blinked, clearly struggling with the idea in the same way you had. I didn't see that coming. People being gone, people coming back. It feels like I've missed a lot. This has been a busy summer already. Well, you haven't missed the fireflies. They haven't shown up yet. Well, that's something. We better not get left behind. There's still stuff to do. You nodded. The two of you headed out and traced the most familiar path you'd ever walked, the trip across the road to Cove's house. It seemed that no sooner had night begun than it was already an end, and the dawn of a new day was soon upon you. Wait, what? That's it? We don't go see his dad? I think no sooner had it been an end that we were ready to don a new video, so we'll see you next time.